Hi, I'm Mick Lacey from Big River Game Calls, and for the next 45 minutes I want to talk to you about deer habits, deer habitat, and how you can learn to successfully call deer. I want to help you learn 6 or 7 different calls you can use and how to get these sounds from your deer call. On this tape you will hear live deer sounds to help you learn. But before we start, I would like to give credit for much of this information to Dr. Ken Norberg. Dr. Norberg holds a degree in animal experimental psychology, a degree in zoology, and a doctorate in experimental life science, and is the author of a book, Bucks Only. For the past 5 years, Dr. Norberg has spent at least 6 months each year studying deer habits and habitat. This information has been invaluable in preparing this tape. So let's begin with some facts about the whitetail and mule deer. Through this tape I will refer to whitetail deer quite often, but deer calls work well on mule deer, sika deer, fallow deer, and also blacktail deer. So when I refer to whitetail, I am considering all deer working to this call. Each year, 16 million hunters kill about 3 million whitetail deer. A startling fact is that 90% of these deer are less than 2 years old. The odds of killing a deer over 2 1/2 years old nationwide is about 1 in 60, and the odds of killing one over 3 1/2 years to 6 1/2 years old is 1 in 120. This seems to indicate that the average hunter using traditional methods is a poor match for those older and wiser dominant bucks. To improve your odds in finding one of these trophies, you first need to know 3 keys to successful deer hunting. The first is the knowledge of deer behavior. Second is skilled woodsmanship. And third is patience and time. Understanding deer habits and habitat is where we will begin to see the importance of adding a new dimension of sound to your hunting techniques. We need to break a deer herd into 5 behavioral classes: fawns, yearlings, adult breeding does, lesser adult bucks, and dominant breeding bucks. Each of these classes have very identifiable habits. Fawns, for instance, rarely stray more than 25 to 30 yards from their maternal doe. A doe, sensing danger from a predator, might give an abrupt snort, and the fawn, having very little scent, would quickly drop into cover and remain motionless while the maternal doe would flee, trying to draw the danger away from the fawn. Her flight will only be 100 to 200 yards, and if the predator does not follow, she will return to the vicinity of the danger to check on her fawn. Even though there are very few fawns found during the hunting season, it's a natural instinct for a doe to respond to the sound of a fawn in distress. I now want you to listen to a young fawn crying when traumatized. This sound will be repeated several times to help you learn the volume and the voice inflection. Listen carefully. The next sound is a 6-month-old fawn being traumatized. Listen to the deeper voice. This sound will be repeated several times to help you learn the voice inflection. Listen now to the older fawn. These sounds can easily be duplicated on your deer call. Remove the tone channel from the barrel. You will see an O-ring over the reed. This is at the back or the base of the reed. On the back of the black inserts are 2 sets of dots. Roll the O-ring to the set of dots nearest the end of the tone channel and put the O-ring between the 2 dots. Put the tone channel assembly back into the barrel and softly inhale on the flex tube end of the call. It should sound like this. This sound works well early during bow season to attract does into an area in hopes that lesser adult bucks will also follow. The next behavioral class is yearlings. They have little hunting significance their first year, but make up a part of the maternal doe's family for 2 years. Their second year, however, is disastrous, for they make many foolish mistakes. This accounts for the extremely high harvest rate. Lacking the guidance of their maternal doe, they tend to wander, and their inexperience makes them vulnerable to man. 1 or 2-year-old deer respond well to a variety of deer sounds, and practicing deer calling with them is a great training aid for those hunters who are only interested in taking a dominant buck. Listen to the sound of a 2-year-old buck's grunt. This sound will be repeated several times about 2 seconds apart so you can learn to imitate it. Listen carefully. Now, open your call again and roll the O-ring back on the reed about 1/2 inch from the back of the reed, or the back part of the tone channel. Inhale softly on the flex tube for about a 1/2 second. It should sound like this. I'll inhale on my call, and I'll give you time between calls to practice. This soft grunt is a very effective call.